What is going on, everybody? 2Titan29 back in the lounge yet again. Make sure to kick back, relax, and grab some snacks. It's time for some more Titan, and I'm actually kind of surprised. So, a lot of my videos from last week either didn't make it, didn't get recorded, got deleted, something like that, and I figured I would just go ahead and essentially not re-record, but record my attempts this week also when the Titan went live. I, however, did not expect that there were going to be some changes to the Titan game mode. So yeah, there's a couple of things that happened. Number one, the big two things that happened. You'll notice that Tier 3, 2, and 1 are all the same, but you'll notice Tier 4 now is no longer 500 billion health. It's 50 billion health. You'll also notice that Tier 5 is no longer 2.1 trillion health. It's 600 billion health. Still the same moves and whatnot, if you go and you check into these. So still the same stuff here. Same damage, same everything. So they made it more obtainable for a lot of other factions to break through Tier 4 and possibly even to beat up a Tier 5. I don't know what this is. You know what? I'm actually going to report this right now. Boom, boom. So opening up the damage rewards section shows this interface. Pretty sure this is just wrong. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. But damn it, daily boss. Okay, sure. Weird. So I don't see where it tells you how much damage you have to do now. That's something else we should put into the system. Also, it does not show how much damage you need in order to reach the corresponding chests. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. So, something to keep in mind, right? We were used to getting... hold on, let me shrink. I don't know where the arrow is here. Okay, cool. Let's just go back to Tier 3. So, Tier 3. Tier 3, here's your rewards. Oh, it shows it at the top. So I guess that's your milestones now. Instead of being displayed here, it shows at the top. So you'll see that we're still getting 1,500 for a Tier 3 if you end up getting the Platinum done. And you will actually get 700 hype coins for KOing the Titan now. There is a difference on Tier 4 and 5. However, Tier 4... only pays out 2,000 now instead of the 3,000 that we used to get paid. But if you beat the Tier 4 Titan, you will get 1,400 additional hype coins. So this will amount in 3,400 hype coins instead of 3,000. And you'll also notice that you get a wildcard hype of the Titan that you are beating on the day. And then same thing with Tier 5. Tier 5 looks like you only need 3 billion damage instead of 4. Which is nice that they lowered the requirement. And again, you were typically getting 5,000 flat for the payout here. Now it's down to 4,000. But if you kill the Titan, you get 2,800 additional hype as well as 2 more wild card hype there. So more payout if your faction can kill the Titan. And they made the Titan weaker by lowering the health pool. They also introduced... Is there a way I can shrink this? Yeah. They also introduced level 12 and level 13 on the point values. I don't know what the bar is for those. So this was what used to be our top payout for level 11s, which was 25,005 wildcard for rank 1 through 10. Now we have level 12, which is 27,000 and 5 wildcard payout for 1 through 10. So not a real big difference there, only 2,000 on the Titan currency. And level 13, this is where you'll notice that you're actually getting an additional wildcard hype for the day. So if you manage to hit the top level of damage, then as a faction, you'll get 27,000 and 6 wildcard hype for your top 10. Even if you're in the bottom 30 players in your own faction damage output, you will still get 22,500 currency and 6 wildcard payout there. So a little bit better than what you were getting before. You were getting 21,005. Now you get 22,506. So not a crazy difference, but definitely trying to reward a little bit more if you put more effort into the game mode. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to, I guess, do this whole week over again to see how far we can get in the new Titan, now that it's a weaker health Titan and pays out more hype. So let's see what we can actually muster up this week. So per the usual, I'm going to be using Americano here. The standard red, green, green. Breaking out all of the additional gem damage today instead of the health steal and the MP required. And so that's a little bit different. And I switched out finally to add the red rumble plate on him. So we're going to see just how much the Americano can do this time around against our powerhouse Hogan Titan. Cena is still exactly the same as he has always been, with all of the health, all of the leech, and all of the ring royalty skill plate for recycling. So you'll notice that we're going to only start with our green move here. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Instead of needing to use an MP trainer to start out with the other moves, I would rather start out this way so that I have more gem damage to scale off of. So that's going to be how we started out. We're going to hit our missile drop kick. Oh, actually, I lied. I'm not going to do this. I'm a silly bobilly. Let's go ahead, and I think I showed this in one of the videos before, but you can close out of the Titan game mode without fearing for losing your energy. I'm going to go ahead and do that and reset because I actually have the wrong move on for Mr. Americano. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and switch out his moves because I don't need the boost move, I need his sub move. So you'll notice again our energy is fine. Let's go ahead back to here to our tier 5. Our stamina is fine for both of our fighters. Where is Cena? Cena. Cool. So yeah, I goofed there. I don't want the diving crossbody. I do want the ankle lock. So that's a big mistake by me, but we fixed it, and we're just going to go right back in there. So, sorry. My bad. My bad. Still going to be the same exact process. We're going to just run. So we're going to start out with our board into reds. And our board into reds again. Pretty cool that we actually got our sub loaded here on a little cascade luck. So that's actually very awesome. Means we can hit our sub. Countdowns are going to trigger. That'll be all the bonuses for Americano. We're going to gain our MP. And we're going to hit our sub again to get even more bonuses for Americano. Alright, good stuff. And we'll wait for all those bonuses to trigger. Boom, boom. And we're going to tag in Cena. Wonderful. Okay. And just to make sure, so Hogan pretty much destroys the board every single turn, which is not good. But that's fine for us for now. I'm not bothered about recycling stuff right this second, so just going to go ahead and do as much as I can with a little 7x1 area. Hogan's going to big boot Cena in the face. That's fine. We're going to tag Americano back in, and we're going to rinse and repeat exactly what we've been doing. So now we have all of our bonuses for the hot tag and the bonuses for the submission. We're going to turn the board into red, do a whole lot more damage than what we did in the very beginning. And with our red rumble plate here, we're going to do even more. A solid amount of damage that he's going to be doing. So that looks like it was, I was going to say, it looks like it was about 120 mil, which it was. So that's good. We're going to gain our MP. We're going to end up hitting the sub. That way we can get more gem damage bonus. We're going to turn the board into red. The rumble's going to turn into reds again. And then we're going to tag Cena back in. And we're going to reload Americano with Cena's Bulldog move, essentially the ring royalty on the back end. So, it's going to be pretty self-explanatory stuff. And we're going to see just how much we can push Hogan. Yeah, so that was 1.8 billion there, which is awesome. That we're already hitting that hard this early in. Cena is going to just reload him, right? Yeah, because Hogan turns the entire board into red gems, so no point in trying to set up for leech gems or any of that type of stuff. Alright, there's our yellows. There's our wild cards. You'll see that the moves are lit back up over here for Americano, so he is good to go. You know what, maybe it makes sense to just hide these room cover things, at least for the time being, you know, while I'm recording these videos. I'm not really concerned about my account being stolen and all that junk anymore. I am an official content creator. If you guys try to steal my account, I think it would be pretty tough for you to do that. Alright, so we're going to hit our sub again. Wonderful. We're going to hit our MP gain. We're going to hit our sub one more time. And then we're going to turn the board into red gems. So we get 2 bonuses before we hit our big move. Also, I forgot to mention, but not to forget moving forward, I do have the Bite Man, I think is what it is, the Bite Man's armor plate. Every time that you use a sub, you increase your red gem damage by 200%. So that's why I'm also trying to get out as many subs as possible. It's not just for the submission countdown gem damage bonus, but the skill plate bonus as well. And that's why I went with the sub over the gem boost move on top. So that right there was over 4 billion damage of a hit, which is awesome to see just how quickly Americano is stacking up here. And we're going to hit the Bulldog one more time. All right. Well, let's see how much we can get out of Americano here. Okay, so we got hit pretty decently there, down from 250 to 150. So I'm going to need to heal up at some point. Might as well make that point now. So I'm going to go ahead and hit our sub. And then I might as well go ahead and hit our board into red. Solid. Okay. Good stuff. We're going to tag back out to Cena. And we're going to let Cena start to heal himself up just a little bit. So we get our snowfalls. We get our 7x1. And we're going to turn our board into yellow gems to heal ourselves back up. Wonderful, and we're back over 200. So we should be able to live through Hogan's following hit. We do have, what is it, 72%. So we only take 28% of what damage he's supposed to do. So should only be about 168 million. So we should live through that. I believe it's the hit after that's going to end up wiping us. Alright, and we're going to turn our board into red gems. And from 516, no cascade there. From 516 down to 508, so that's an 8 billion damage hit. Solid. Alright. And Cena's going to hit the Bulldog. Unfortunately, we didn't recycle any of Americano's green moves there. That's kind of upsetting, because we had a couple of greens left on board, just no luck. Huge cascade for Hogan, on the other hand. Man, that's frustrating. Alright, let's get Americano back in here. And you know what? I think it'll probably make sense just to play it safe with Americano and Cena, to heal Cena up on this turn as well, because Hogan hit him pretty hard there. So we're up to 360 bonuses for Americano, which is kind of crazy. But I'm going to go ahead and heal Cena up one more time here. Because Hogan's hitting kind of hard today. All right, up to 243. That was a $1.70. So yeah, $1.70. We can't heal. We can't heal over a $1.70. Nah, it's 255, and we have 252. All right, so no point in healing Cena anymore. We're just gonna go for maxing out the Americano damage as much as we can here. So we're going to hit our boost, hit our gain, hit our boost again, and then turn the board red. And that's probably going to be the trend of this towards the end here. Although it might pay for me to skip a boost here or there, just so I can do more damage instead of just gaining more damage output. Like maybe just go generate, gain MP, generate, gain MP type of thing. So let's see, from 507.5, this one hit is going to hit for wow, from 507 down to 493. Yeah, that's a huge hit for 14 bill right there. Good stuff. We recycled. Hogan with the 6 mil hit. It's fine. We're going to tag Americano back in. So let's see here. Do I want to just keep hitting him for 14 bill? Because I could hit him for 14 bill twice and then tag Cena back in. Or we can boost him one more time. This is going to be his second turn. So yeah, I'm going to boost him one more set of times just to see. I'm going to go from 14 bill. We're going to hit the sub. We're going to hit the MP. We're going to hit the sub. And we're going to hit the generate again. And we're going to gauge how much more that we get here. And then I think I'm going to probably not do it anymore because I don't think we're going to go from like 14 all the way up to like 21 or something like that. If we did, then maybe it's worth it. But I think this will probably take us from 14 maybe to like 16 or something like that. Which obviously, yeah, more boost is good, but I need to make sure that I'm getting the damage output now, especially with the new KO bonus. So 493, and we're going to take him down to 475. So that was 18 bill. So it went from 14 to 18. That's not a bad shout, to be honest. Probably means that we'll go from 18 to 22 in the future ones. But the real question is, do I really want to do that? A whole nother round of only getting one set of 22 billion out, or do I want to get two more sets of 18 and then maybe two more sets of 18, right? I feel like this is probably a good point as ever to just start focusing on generating the gems, gaining the MP, generating the gems, gaining the MP, and kind of tagging Cena back out, Yeah, so this will be Cena's final turn here. And let me think about this before I just go and click the moves, because in reality, using my fourth action just to gain MP again doesn't really seem like it's a good choice, because Cena should recycle my moves. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the bonus, the buff one time, and then I'm going to throw the generate, then I'm going to gain MP, then I'm going to throw the generate again, and then I'll tag Cena back in. So I'm still getting some bonus, and I'm still getting two sets of gems out there instead of two sets of bonuses out there. I think that'll be the way to do it. So there's one sub. We're going to put the gems out now. Then I'll gain MP and put the gems out again. And then I can tag Cena in. And Cena should recycle Americano's moves to keep going. So, yeah, from 474 down to 453. So it is a pretty huge increase on damage, like I was saying, probably like closer to 22. But now I can hit that twice instead of just once, right? Boom, boom. Okay. More reds out there. Okay. Good stuff. And now we can go ahead and tag Cena in. Cena's going to take the big old hit. And hopefully we can recycle this green move for when Americano gets brought back into the match. I need some of these greens to stay on board and get linked to. Good stuff. Okay. So Cena did his job. He took as many hits as he possibly could. He recycled Americano as best as he possibly could. All right. So first things first, we're going to generate all these gems as best we can, and that's going to be it. We're going to generate, we're going to gain MP. We're going to generate, we're going to gain MP, and we're going to generate a third time so we can get 3 sets of red gem damage out there. I'm not stressed over the sub now at this point. I need to just get as much damage as I can out there. So there's a 22 billion hit. We're going to gain our MP again. If we manage to somehow cascade into enough green gems to recycle this, that would be fantastic. I was thinking about putting a ring royalty on Americano. I was also thinking about putting a green rumble on Americano. But to me, making more red gems for more damage seemed to be the go-to. Seemed to be the smart way to play it. I could be totally wrong. See, I was one off again. I mean, maybe putting something on like NWO Hogan wouldn't be a horrible shout. That if I cascade, and then into a green match, I can just go ahead and hit the move again. Instead of like Haku or stunning or something like that. Maybe that's the way to do it. I don't know. This is going to be it's going to be a playtest experiment. That's for sure. So there you go, another 20 plus billion damage hit. All of the buffs have to get wiped out, and that's what's taking so long now. There you go, they're finally gone. Hogan's gonna boot us in the face, and then we're just back to our normal Americano self. So I might as well go ahead and get the sub there. There you go. We'll get our MP gain back in. We'll hit our sub again. Actually, do I even want to hit the sub again? Because then I just do the generate and then I have to gain MP at the end of the turn. Seems kind of silly, no? Might as well just go with this. Hit the diving headbutt, gain MP, hit the diving headbutt again. Right, so that way I can get at least something. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be nominal amounts of damage compared to what we were just doing, but any little bit is going to help if the goal is breaking through the 500 every day. So there's 482. That's solid. We're going to gain MP, and we're going to hit it again. And that'll be, close to another 1 bill on just passive damage that we're getting here. Which, again, it's not the crazy numbers that we were seeing before, but any little bit of damage is going to help. So there's another 480. So yeah, close to another 1 bill in just passive damage, which is nice. All right. This is our final turn, right? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to... if I do this, this is number 2, and then 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can do that. That way, at least I get this out twice. So we'll generate them, we'll gain our MP, we'll hit the sub, and then we'll generate them again. So there's 460. Gain our MP. Hit our sub one more time. Wait for the bonuses. And we turn the board red one final time on our way out. So good stuff, solid performance. That's another billion damage at the end there. And obviously Hogan is going to go ahead and wipe us. Not much you can do about that. Boom, the leg drop of doom. Followed by a knee drop. I don't know why. A little bit of insult to injury there. And okay, well, we hit 163 billion damage today. So we just did a quarter of the Tier 5 Titans' health. Hopefully, the faction should be able to do enough on their own so that we can, get the bonus for beating the Titan. Because that's where all of the hype is going to be now. Something to keep in mind, too, is the KO bonus for this is 2,800. The KO and damage bonus combined for a Tier 3 is, well, that's Tier 4. For a Tier 3 is 15 and 7, so it's 2,200. So it's actually more if you take out the Tier 5 as a KO than it is to do a Tier 3. So if you're someone like myself and you're concerned that your faction is not going to be able to get the Tier 5 done unless you hit it twice, it's worth it doing it twice just to get the KO bonus on the Tier 5. It's worth more than the Tier 3 KO bonus and damage combined. So just something to look into. I'm not going to bother with the Tier 4, I don't think, today. In Tier 3, at least for the recording purposes. I'll obviously play this just so that I can make sure I can get my hype today. But I don't think it's really a necessity for me to do that on the recording. I also don't know who I'm going to use, and I don't really like recording myself struggling making a decision, right? Like, maybe I'm going to use Jacob Fatu. Maybe I'm going to use the new Rey Mysterio because he has 99 MP. Maybe I'll use Gunther and use his multiply gem setup so that he can set up the board for somebody else that he's going to tag in. Because this Hogan on Tier 4 doesn't break the board on either of his Turn 2 or Turn 3 actions. So maybe I'll go with that route, right? Maybe I'll be like, hey, I'll use Gunther, and maybe I'll tag in someone like where is it? Yeet, right? Like maybe I just have a whole board full of crazy strong multiply gems from Gunther, and then I can tag in Yeet with all of his gem damage bonuses and then wipe out those gems. I don't know. But it seems like our faction is making quick work of the tier 4, so I'm not really going to concern myself with that. I will just get the damage that I can get in, and then we'll see what happens with our tier 5. But that's it for me on this one. This is our brand new changes to Titans. So pretty nice stuff. Looking forward to seeing what everybody thinks about that. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. Leave that in the sections below. Let's also check out the shop today, just because we ended up getting some wildcard showboat hype. That's always going to be purchased for me. Not a problem there. We got some Viscera hype. Also, again, until he's max hype, that will also be purchased for me. He's a very good character. But yeah, look, that's going to be it for me on this one, on our Titan. I guess we can call it Titan 2.0. But yeah, hopefully y'all have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. For me, Titan is a getaway from the game, as silly as that sounds, but after how ridiculous this revolutionary weekend was, I'm very excited that this is what the foreseeable future of Titan looks like. It feels like it's going to be much more obtainable with the low health pools, and it also feels like it's going to be a little bit more rewarding with the hype. So until next time, y'all, have a good one.
Thank you.